All of the young people, if you're in Sunday school, you should come forward a little bit. If you're too old and dignified to sit on the floor, you can sit in the pews, but you should come forward if you're still in high school or younger. Come on up, everybody. You can come closer. You can lean up against this one. Come closer, come on. We can make a crowd. Okay. And I'm going to come sit down with you. All right. So, who heard what we said in the gospel? What was the story? I'm going to keep asking this every Sunday. All righty. Well, I'll tell you the story. Two guys went to church. They went to the temple, but for our purposes, same difference, right? One of them was a good man, and one of them was a bad man. One of them knew all the rules about how you're supposed to act. We could say he knew when to make his cross, he knew when to stand up, he knew when to sit down, he knew when to fast, he knew what he was supposed to do at home, he did everything right. We could even say his mom never yelled at him. Ever, right? Everything he did was perfect, right? And he knew it. Now the other guy, he was a bad man. He did evil things. He took money from other people. He lived an unrighteous life, and we can assume when he was a kid, he was in trouble all the time. Okay? So far, this sounds familiar, right? Don't be the bad kid, be the good kid. Right? We're used to this. So then they come into the church. And the good guy, well, he knows he's good. So what do you think he does? He goes right up to the front, and he stands up, and he puts his hands in the air, and he says, "Oh God, I thank you that I am so awesome." Can you imagine? Can you imagine doing that? Would you do that? If you were the good kid, is that how you would act? Would you walk in and say, "Oh God, thank you that I never get in trouble. My mom is always happy with me. Thank you that I'm so perfect. And I'm not like my brother who's always in trouble." Right? It doesn't sound quite Christian, does it? Right? Something's wrong. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what, but this is the one guy. The good kid, he's in there saying how wonderful he is and how happy he is about it. And the other guy, well, he doesn't come to the front. He barely comes in the door. He's still out there in the narthex. And what's he doing? Did you hear? Did you hear? Well, he's bowing down to the floor. He's saying, "God, forgive me. Forgive me, I'm a sinner. I don't deserve it. Be gracious to me. Give me a gift. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry. Forgive me, God. I messed up. I did wrong. I want to change. Please forgive me." How does that sound? It's strange, right? It sounds better. We would think that we want to be the perfect person. But I'll tell you a secret. It's impossible. Is that a secret, or you already figured this out, right? Right? You all already know this. Being perfect is impossible. So if we say we're perfect, we're lying. We're lying to ourselves, and we're lying to God. And that's not really good, is it? Lying to God? But if we're honest, if we say, "Yep, I messed up here, I did this thing, I screwed up in this place, I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Well, guess what? God forgives us right away. He doesn't make us wait. He doesn't make us bow down a bunch of times. He just wants us to say we're sorry. Who else do you know that's kind of like that? Generally, your parents are like that, we hope. Right? Right? But this is how God is too. God wants us to accept and admit that we've done something wrong and ask Him to forgive us, and He forgives us, and He brings us back, and He loves us. He loves us even when we're messing up, too. That's important, right? But what is the one thing that we need to never, ever do as Christians? The first guy. We should never be like that. If we ever catch ourselves saying, "Oh God, thank you, I am so wonderful," we may as well just walk to the back and say, "And there I go. I messed up. I screwed up. I was proud." And that's a sin too. So even if we think we're perfect, we still find that we have something to ask forgiveness for. Make sense? And especially when we're in Lent, this is when we want to, you can sit with me. When we're in Lent, this is when we're fasting, this is when we're praying, this is when we're doing all of these holy things, these things that are good and necessary for us. But if we ever think to ourselves, "I'm doing all these things, so I'm a great person now," then we know, oops, I did it again. And we bow ourselves down and we ask God to forgive us. That's the Christian life. That's what Lent is for. Make sense? Okay? So we're not so much worried about all of you becoming good little boys and girls. We want to make sure that all of us together are learning how to repent, how to turn away from our mistakes when we make them, because we're going to make them. How to repent, how to come back to God. That's everything about the Christian life. So with that, stand up, go back to your families, and let's continue the liturgy.